Hi everybody, welcome to Ask German Shepherd Man. I'm Charles Miller, GermanShepherdMan.com. And people call me, email me from all over the world with questions about German Shepherd dogs. Usually about behavior, sometimes about feeding, sometimes about breeding, but whatever. I got an email from Michelle, and this is an interesting email. Let's just go through it. Watched your video on asking you questions, and I have one. So here we go. My two GSDs, German Shepherd dogs, are very prey driven. They chase anything that moves. They killed my cat in March, who they have been around since I raised them from puppies. Nothing gruesome, only found one little puncture, but it was still terrible enough that killed the cat. The dogs are ages 4 and 3 now. I currently have 2 kittens. I'm trying to desensitize them because we live in the country and I've had cats for 20 years. They are tolerating them, but I am constantly present and with them working on training. The pup just licks them to death, but any sharp movements or running seems to trigger them and heighten their alert level. I really want to keep the cats alive. Any suggestions? Okay. Now, if I had a phone call with this lady, I would go into a lot of detail and ask a lot of questions. I am going to suggest something. If you have a 3 and a 4-year-old German Shepherd dog, in that situation, you probably, I don't train puppies with an e-collar. I mean, I use big love dog training. Correct within a second with the right kind of correction, reward within a second with big love rewards. I mean, that's kind of how I raise my little puppies and even older puppies. But if you got dogs that are already, these are 3 and 4-year-old dogs. They are adults. They are set, they are done, and they are high prey driven. These are, ooh, something moves, ooh, kind of, German Shepherd dogs. They're not all like that, but some of them are. So these are high prey drive, and we got the cat thing. So I would suggest, some people aren't going to like this, but I would suggest using an e-collar. The great e-collars sometimes have 2 functions. They have a vibrate function, like putting your phone on vibrate. And of course, they have different levels of electric stimulation. Now, before you get crazy, hold on. It's kind of like a static shock. It's just to kind of get their attention. Have you ever reached in the dryer or in the wintertime, touched the handle of your car or something, and you get that static electricity? Oh gosh, oh, I hate that. It doesn't shock me, it's just like a little arc. It just kind of like, that is what e-collars are. Now you can crank them way up and actually do that, but that's not what you want to do. Watch and find out how to use e-collars for these dogs, but you're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to, as soon as they alert, as soon as they start to alert, you're going to have to use the e-collar at the right level, learn how to use one, and you're going to need to get a very high quality. I'm going to give you a couple of names, brand names, if you want to go down this route. But the key is consistency. Do it every time. Number 2, correct within a second. Reward within a second. When they don't alert on the little kitties, when they don't alert, even when they're thinking about it, but they're like, I'm not going to do that because, I don't like the results when I do that. And they kind of settle back down. That's the time for big love reward. Let's say it's Sasha and Poo Poo. Sasha, good girl. No cat, good girl. I'd even get the little cat. Good girl, Sasha, good girl. Good girl, Sasha, that's a good girl. And then put the cat down. Do the same thing with Poo Poo. Boo Boo, whatever his name is. Same thing. Correct within a second. Reward, big love reward within a second. And let them know that that's your cat. They're not allowed to chew my shoes. I don't have a shoe chewing problem with my German Shepherd dogs because they learned very early that's not their shoe. That's not their toy. They're not allowed to do that. Consistency. Also, you just want to make sure you get a good quality. If you do decide to get an electronic collar, I like these 2 brands, Dogtra, D-O-G-T-R-A, Dogtra, and the Educator brand. Don't get a cheap one. Just don't do that. if you need to do something like this, don't get a cheap e-collar. Don't do it, okay? Dogtra or Educator, check those out. Wow, you guys are awesome. Send me emails and maybe your question will be answered right here on Ask German Shepherd Man. Thank all of you from all of us. Charles Miller, GermanShepherdman.com.